Hi, I'm Devin. Thank you for joining me tonight and taking a moment for movement. So here we are, the last Wednesday of December, and this is usually a hectic time of year, especially this year with all going on in the world and COVID. So I hope, like me, you can enjoy this next hour, relax, unwind, and let your mind settle and quiet a little bit. So we're going to get started laying flat on our backs on the mat. If you prefer to do this from a seated position, go right ahead. But I'd like you to close your eyes, roll your shoulders back and away from your ears. If you're laying on the mat, just gently tuck the shoulder blades back and under the body. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And let your body relax. Let go of any thoughts, plans, or ideas that are still playing around in your mind. Let your mind quiet. And just bring your awareness to the body. Bring that awareness down from your scalp, along the face, jaw, and neck, down the shoulders, arms, and back, down the length of your torso and into your hips, thighs, calves, ankles, and feet. Notice if there's any areas that are tight or muscles that are still kind of holding on. Let them relax. We're going to move gently into our practice tonight. Good. On your next inhale, reach your arms overhead. Again, you can do this from a laying down or seated position. Reach your fingertips away from your body. Become as long as possible. Feel the rib cage expand out to the sides as you breathe deeply. And then place the right palm around the left forearm. Reach up and over to the right, extending that stretch through the left side of the body. Come back through center, reach the right arm up, and we'll switch sides. So left hand around the right forearm, reach up and then over to the left, keeping the shoulders back. So if we're laying down on the mat, the tops of the right forearm and the upper arm are still as flat and close to the mat as possible. If we're seated, our arms are in line with the shoulders. They're not reaching forward towards the top of our mat. Good, and release. Come back through center and gently bring your arms down to your sides. Take a nice deep breath. And then pick the right arm up, keeping the elbow straight, pull it across the chest. So again, you can do this from a reclined position. Our left hand is just assisting by pulling the right arm a little bit closer to the chest. So I want to feel this stretch to the back of the shoulder. Maybe you feel it in the chest as well. Breathe into it. And release. Opposite side, left arm up, pull it across the chest. Use the right hand to draw it in. Good, and release. All right, whether you're laying down or in a seated position, we're going to come into child's pose. So let's bend our knees, sit back on our heels, and again, depending on how we're feeling tonight, if we're a little bit tight, if we want a little bit more space in the lower back, if you've got a little something in the way at your lower torso, we can walk our knees a little bit wider apart, creating a V shape with the lower leg. And then we're going to walk our hands out in front of us, coming down into that child's pose. So again, if your forehead doesn't touch the mat, that's perfectly fine. This is very early in our practice, so maybe we're a little stiff. You can always use a block or use your hands. Stack one fist on top of the other, rest your head on top, or bend your elbows and rest your head in your hands. But let the body relax as much as possible. Good. Lift the head up. And we're going to lift our hips up as well. So bring the hips over the knees. If your knees are wider than hip width apart, walk the knees together. Then we're going to thread the needle. So we're going to take the back of the right hand, lower it to the mat just under the chest. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, slide the right fingertips away from the torso, coming down onto the right outer shoulder. The right ear comes down to the mat. We're going to feel this stretch through the upper back. Good. Let's release. Press into the left hand. Straighten out the left elbow and bring the right hand back to the mat under the right shoulder. We'll switch sides, bringing the back of the left hand down to the floor. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, slide those fingers all the way over to the right, lowering the left ear and down towards the mat. Breathe into that space that's created between the shoulder blades. Good. Let's release. Straighten out the right arm. Press into that palm. And bring the left hand back under the left shoulder. Distribute the weight evenly through the palms, fingers, and knees. So our body is stacked over our hands and knees. We're going to move with the breath. Exhale. Really arch the back. So think about creating a semicircle from your shoulders to your hips. And then as you inhale, round the back and look upwards. So exhale, arch. This isn't just through the lower back, it's all the way down the length of the spine. And inhale, opposite direction. Nice long line down the length of the body. Exhale. Move at your own pace. If you're feeling a little stiff, maybe hold that position just a beat longer. Try and work into that area gently. Let's do one more. Excellent job. Let's come back to a neutral spine. So curl the toes under, lift the knees off the mat. Let's come into downward facing dog. Reaching down through the heels, finding some length down the back of the body. Rotate the elbows so the creases of the elbows point towards the top of your mat. And pedal your heels a couple times. Wake up those calves and Achilles. Keep the head and neck relaxed. Look left and right gently, up and down. Breathing deeply throughout. Well done. Walk the feet forward. Tuck the chin towards the chest and come into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Let your whole body just relax and melt down and forward over the thighs. And then press through the soles of the feet. Keep the knees soft and let's lift the torso all the way up. Roll the shoulders back and away from your ears. Coming into mountain pose, take a full breath. And if you're not at the top portion of your mat, take a step or two forward. Moving into sun salutations, let's move with our breath. Deep breath in, full breath out, bringing the palms together. Inhale, lift the arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, forward fold, knees soft as we hinge at the hips. Bring your fingertips down to the mat. Inhale, right leg steps back, lower the knee and flatten the top of the foot to the mat, dropping your hips down and forward. Curl the right toes and exhale, step the left leg back into plank. Draw the navel in towards the spine. And exhale, lower knees, chest, and forehead to the mat. Inhale, slide forward, press the palms, lift the chest up, look up. And exhale, curl the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward dog. Inhale, big step forward with the right foot. Lower the left knee and flatten the top of the foot to the mat. Exhale, left leg forward, bring the feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes. Exhale, right leg back to plank. Draw the abs in. And exhale, knees, chest, and forehead onto the mat. Inhale, slide forward, lift the chest. Exhale, lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right knee down, foot flat. And exhale, right leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back, and exhale, release. Inhale, exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes, exhaling, left leg back to plank. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, slide forward, lift the chest. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg forward, left knee down, foot flat. And exhale, left leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, palms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes, exhaling, right leg back to plank. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, slide forward, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right knee down, foot flat. And exhale, right leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, release. Arms by the side, shoulders back and away from your ears. Take a full breath. Roll your shoulders back and come to the center of your mat. So we're going to work a little bit on our balance. We're going to take it easy today with tree pose. This is a great classic posture, but it can always be challenging. So root down through the left foot, spread the toes wide, knee is soft, shoulders are back. So once we lift the right foot off the mat, it's really important to keep in mind that we keep that nice tall line down the left side of our body. So we're not counterbalancing the lift of the right leg by shifting our hips to the left, okay? We really want to focus on keeping that left hip exactly where it is now, stacked over the left foot. So let's give it a try. Hands will start on the hips, shoulders are back, eyes are up unfocused on a point that's not moving, and at your own pace, peel the right foot off of the mat. Notice how you're feeling tonight. Maybe start by stacking the right foot on top of the left. Again, keeping that alignment of the left side of the body. When you're ready, slide it up to the inside of the left calf. Remember, we're going to skip over the ankle and the knee joint. They are not shelves for the right foot. We don't want any sideways pressure. When you're ready, maybe you can pick up that right leg and bring the foot to the left inner thigh. And it's okay if you need to assist that leg with your hand. I do it all the time. But here's where we really start to feel that shift or see that shift in the left hip. So I want you to think long and tall. Lift up through the crown of the head and bring that left hip back over the left foot. Breathe into this posture. You can keep your hands on your hips, bring them to your heart, or if you're up for it, bring them all the way up towards the sky.
Excellent job. Let's come down with the same control, the same order, and then bring that right foot all the way down to the mat. Excellent job. So you're gonna want to shake out that left leg, the standing leg, roll the shoulders back, take a couple nice deep breaths. And we're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. So again, move at your own pace. This side may feel much easier than the previous one. Many of us are right-handed, right side dominant, right side strength. So you might come right up for this one. So we're down through the foot. We want to move with the same mindfulness. When you're ready, lift that left foot up, check in. And you can change the foot placement or the hand position here as well. But again, notice that right hip. Think nice and tall, lifting up through the crown. And keep breathing deeply. Good. Hands back down to our sides and left foot back down to the mat. Wonderful. Shake out the legs. Roll the shoulders back. Take a nice deep breath. So facing the side of our mat, if you're not facing that direction already, let's take a nice wide stance. Feet parallel to one another. So toes are pointing towards the long edge of the mat. Starting with our hands on our hips, let's inhale, grow tall through the length of our spine. Exhale, begin to hinge forward. So we're keeping our back flat. We're keeping our chin in the same position, meaning we're dropping our gaze, drawing it inwards towards the space just in front of our toes. And when we're halfway down, we're going to drop our fingertips down to the mat and continue folding forward, using the support of our hands, lengthening the spine, reaching the crown of the head down towards the mat, looking through the legs. And this one again is totally up to you. So depending how you're feeling tonight, maybe you can walk the feet a little bit wider apart. All right. Maybe you need to grab a block and place that block under your hands. So as long as we're feeling that stretch along the back side of the body, you're doing it right. Breathe into it. Let the head and neck relax. So just gently look left and right, up and down, letting those muscles along the jaw and neck really lengthen. And let's walk our hands over towards the right foot. So I want you to reach the outside of the left shoulder down towards the mat so our chest is centered in front of the right thigh. And back through center. Over towards the left leg. Again, rotate the torso so the outside of the right shoulder and tricep are reaching down towards the mat. Good. Let's walk our hands back through center. Take a deep breath in, lengthen the spine, and exhale, hinge forward again. Maybe we can come down a little bit closer to the mat, finding a little bit more length now that our body has relaxed into the posture. Good. Use the hands for support. Walk the toes and heels towards one another until the feet are under the hips. And then soften the knees, lift the torso all the way up. Roll the shoulders back. Wonderful. Come towards the top of the mat. Again, shoulders back, deep breath in. We're going to work on our warrior two. So big step back with the right foot, nice wide stance. Rotate the hips, shoulders, and chest towards the long right edge of the mat. Glance down at your feet. Make sure the left heel points towards the right arch. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, bend the left knee. So we're sinking that knee down to stack it above the left ankle. If you can, again, depending on our inner thigh and hip flexibility, if you can walk that right foot back while maintaining the left knee stacked over the ankle, give it a try. That will deepen that stretch through the inside of the right leg. Turn your head and look past your left fingers, lengthening the arms and breathing deeply. Let's flip the left palm for Peaceful Warrior. Lift up through the left fingertips. Let the right hand relax down along the length of the right leg and look up at the left hand. Keep the lower body exactly where it is. We're just leaning back through the torso. Good. Let's come back to Warrior Two and release the arms. Straighten out the left leg. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, press into that right foot so we can step forward and back to mountain pose. Shoulders back, opposite side. Big step back with the left foot. Hip, shoulders, and chest towards the left edge of the mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend the right knee, stack it over the ankle. Again, check in. If you have more length, more flexibility through the inner thighs, you may be able to walk that left foot back while maintaining the right knee stacked over the front ankle. Arms are up. We're looking past the right fingertips, squeezing the shoulder blades back and together, keeping a nice tall torso. This is a posture that helps encourage good posture, so it's an important one to practice. Good, let's flip the right palm towards the sky, reach the fingertips upwards as we hinge back. Letting the left hand gently relax along the left leg, lengthen through the right arm, looking upwards, breathing deeply, keeping the lower body in the same Warrior Two position. Press down deeply through all edges of the feet. Good, let's come back to our Warrior Two. Deep breath in and exhale, release the hands. One more breath, this time exhaling, pushing off that left foot, coming back to mountain pose. Good, shake out the legs, roll the shoulders back, and we're gonna step back on our mat. So now we have plenty of space in front of us. Feet are under the hips or maybe a little bit wider if we need a little bit more space to move into. Moving into Utkatasana or chair pose, bring your hands to heart center in prayer position. Take an inhale. And as we exhale, bend the knees, reach the tailbone back behind us, coming down into our chair or narrow stance squat. The weight is evenly distributed through the feet. The spine is nice and long, the chest is lifted, and we can glance down and still see and even move our toes. So hold it here, breathing deeply. We're building strength through the lower body, specifically the quads, hamstrings, and glutes. Take one more nice deep breath. And then exhale, hinge forward. Keep bending the knees, bring the fingertips down to the mat, lift the heels up. So we're going to balance here on the balls of the feet. Might want to adjust your stance a little bit, but ideally we're working to lift the fingertips off of the mat. So we might just be floating them about a centimeter off the mat tonight, or maybe we can bring them up to our lap or even to our heart. Maybe it's just one hand. But here, building strength through the feet and ankles is really important. Our feet and muscles don't get a lot of use when we're in shoes all day, so we need to keep them active. Just as we would in any other balance posture, focus the eyes on a point that's not moving and keep breathing deeply. Let's take one more breath. And then bring your fingertips down to the mat. Gently lower the knees. Keep the toes tucked. Sit your hips back on your heels. Feel that stretch through the soles of the feet. If it's too intense, lean forward. Lift the hips until you find that balance where it's feeling like a stretch, but it's not painful. Good. Hands down to the mat. Flatten the tops of the feet. Sit back on our heels. Hero pose. Take a nice deep breath. And again, if this is too intense on the front of the ankles, the feet, or even the knees, you can put a couch cushion. You can put a block under your hips and kind of lift your body up a little bit higher. So let's roll our shoulders back a couple times. We're going to start by reaching the right hand up, bending the right elbow, using the left hand to draw the right elbow towards the center of the body. Feel that stretch along the outside of the right tricep. Good, let's release and switch sides. Left arm up, bend the elbow, use the right hand, draw the elbow towards the midline. Good, and release both arms down to your sides. We're going to lean forward, lift the hips up, and I suggest rotating your body so you're facing the long edge of your mat. You may want to actually grab a portion of your mat and fold it in on top of itself to give your knees a little bit more cushioning, but you certainly don't have to. We're going to start by stepping the right leg out to the right side for gate pose. So lift the shoulders up, stack your shoulders over your hips, bring the right hand to the right hip. Inhale, left arm up towards the sky, and as you exhale, reach over towards the right side of the body. So keep the shoulders back, keep the face, chest, and hips all facing that same direction, all facing the long edge of the mat, and breathe into this side body stretch. Good, let's inhale through center and bringing the left hand down to the mat under the left shoulder. Exhale and lift the right leg. So our foot is flexed. We're lifting from the glute and the medial glute, bringing that leg up in line with the body. Draw the abdominals inwards to help support the body as well. Keeping it nice and steady. You'll feel that heat increasing through the outer hip. Good, let's gently lower that foot down to the mat. Excellent job. Walk the hands forward. We're just going to use them for balance here as we sweep the right foot from the right side of the body all the way back behind us to the back left corner of our room. Lower the right knee, slide it in, tucking it against the left leg. And now take the left foot. So far this leg hasn't moved, but now we're going to take the left foot and open it up and point the left toes towards the back right corner of the mat. So we're moving our feet away from one another, creating space for the body. So very gently and slowly, I'd like you to walk your body back. We're aiming to get both sits bones down to the mat between our ankles rather than on top of one of them. However, if that's not happening tonight, keep the hands planted, use them for support. You'll still be feeling that stretch. Or If you're close to the mat and don't want to use your arms, you can always use a block under your hips as well. So we're really going to feel this stretch now through the outside of the hip and upper thigh. Breathe, breathe, breathe deeply. So this is an intense one. If it is too much, again, grab that block or put your hands back down on the mat and straighten out those elbows a little bit to lift the body. We're now going to exhale and lean forward, if you can, over the legs. So that will intensify this further. So again, we're moving gradually with mindfulness. We want to feel a stretch, but it shouldn't be painful. So at any point, if it's too much, move back out of it until you feel that happy balance of what the body is capable of and just feeling good in tonight. All right, let's straighten out our arms, lifting the hips off the mat, walking the hands forward, and then stepping the right knee back under the right hip. So we're going to switch sides, left foot out to the left side, round the body up, left hand to the left hip. Inhale, right arm up, and reach over towards the left leg, finding that length through the right side of the body. Good, let's come through center. And bring the right hand down, plant the right shoulder under, right the right hand under the right shoulder, oops, and lift the left leg, flexing the foot. So really try and lift it as high as you can, in line with the body. Draw the abs in. Feel that heat begin to build, and breathe. Good, and lower, well done. Hands to the front. Maintain our balance and sweep the left leg all the way to the back right corner. Lower the knee and tuck that leg in against the right leg. Right toes point back towards the left corner, and we're going to walk the body back gently. This side may be different than the previous one. Ideally lowering both sits bones to the mat between our heels. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out, leaning forward over the legs if you can. If it's too intense, keep your shoulders back. If it's too intense, press the hands into the mat, lift the hips up until you find that happy medium. Excellent. Bring your hands back to either side of the hips. Press into the palms, lift the hips up, and bring that left leg back under the left hip. So now just take a seat on the mat. Swing your legs around to the front of your body. Let's bring the soles of the feet together, and hands gently resting on the ankles or feet. We're going to sit up nice and tall, stack the shoulders over our hips. And as we exhale, lean forward. So bring the center of your chest towards your feet. We're not rounding, but instead we're keeping a nice flat back or a tall spine, and just bringing the front of the torso down slightly. You can use the forearms or the elbows to press your thighs a little bit closer to the mat to intensify the stretch through the inner leg. Good, let's lift the chest back up. Draw the knees towards one another. You can walk your feet out slightly so they're in line with your hips. We're going to turn our body, our whole torso, to the left. So as we do that, we're going to drop our knees down to the left as well. So we still have to do a little bit of adjusting here.
But now we're facing the other side of our mat. We're going to adjust the left leg so it's positioned at a right angle in front of the body. The left knee is now in line with the left hip. And the right leg is going to have to walk back slightly. So the right knee is in line with the right hip as our hips rotate towards that, what is my top of the mat. Maybe it's a different side of the mat for you. But our torso is facing the left shin. The left shin is parallel to that edge of the mat. Okay, so I want you to lift up and grow tall. Our right hip will naturally be off of the mat, but just take a deep breath in and exhale, lean forward. Maybe you can walk your hands out, come down a little bit deeper. Good, release, lift the chest up. We're going to rotate back to the side of our mat, knees up, both hips on the mat, and now rotate face the opposite end of the mat. So again, a little adjustment is necessary here. I personally need to walk my right heel forward, so my right shin is towards the top or parallel with the top of the mat. And now my back leg, my left leg has kind of been left behind, so I need to pull it forward slightly so it's in line with my hip. Hips are facing forward. Left hip is slightly elevated off the mat. Take a deep breath in and exhale, lean forward. Excellent job. Lift up the chest, and we're going to straighten out our legs. So you can face whatever direction you prefer at this point. We're going to start with our left leg straight, right leg bent, sole of the right foot along the left inner thigh or inner calf. Inhale, sit up tall, reach the arms up towards the sky, and as we exhale, hinge forward. Drop your hands down when you can't reach forward any further, and continue to let the upper body lower down towards the mat, looking downwards, breathing deeply, and continue to elongate through the crown of the head. Good, let's release the hands, just round up, stack the back, shoulders over hips, and switch sides. So right leg is extended now, left leg bent, sole of the left foot along the right inner thigh or right inner calf. Inhale, both arms up, grow nice and tall. Exhale, hinge forward, drop the hands, keep reaching through the crown, and breathe. Good, let's release and round up, stacking the back over the hips. Left leg now, extend it. So we may need to pull the flesh away from your sits bones a little bit so we can anchor and ground down into the mat a little bit more. Our toes are pointing up towards the sky. Inhale, both arms up, and exhale, reach forward as you fold. Drop the hands when you can't fold any further, and continue to let your body relax downwards towards the thighs, elongating the spine, feeling that stretch all the way down the back of your body. Good.
Excellent. All right, let's swing our legs around. And we're going to come into downward facing dog. So breathe into this stretch. The back of the body is much warmer than it was when we were doing these in our sun salutations and warm up tonight. So it should feel a little bit easier to move into this posture. On your next inhale, we're going to take a big step forward with the right foot. Bring it between our hands, drop the hips down and forward, stacking the right knee over the right heel, reaching back through the left heel, and breathing into that nice inner thigh stretch. If you're up for it tonight, we're going to take this into a high lunge. If you want a variation on high lunge, you can always go over the back knee or rotate the back heel down to the mat for a little bit more support. Regardless of the back leg position, we're all pressing as deeply as possible into the front right foot. So let's take a deep breath in. Exhale, press, 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 press as we inch our hands off the mat. Roll the shoulders back, stack them over the hips, and bring our hands to our heart. Find a point to focus on and breathe into it. Well done. Let's take one more breath and hinge forward. Hands back to the mat. Take a full breath here. And if you haven't already, lower the left knee down to the mat, flatten the top of the foot to the floor, and continue breathing deeply. Now pick up the right hand and place it between the left hand and the right foot on the mat. Let's heel toe the right foot a couple inches out to the right and then rotate the toes to point towards the top right corner of your mat. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bend your elbows in towards the torso, bringing the torso down towards the mat. Working on bringing both forearms down to the mat as well. You might be close. If you're not quite there, you can always use a block. You can always keep the elbows bent. You can bring one forearm down, if not both tonight. And as you exhale, gently lift the body back up. All right, keep the hands under the shoulders and the right leg exactly where it is. We're going to get a little bit deeper into the inner thigh by opening from the hip. So you want to think about bringing the outside edge of the right leg down towards the mat. So on your next exhale, relax the right leg, lifting the sole of the foot off of the mat. So we're shifting the weight to the outside, the right side edge of the right foot. And again, we're moving from the hip, not from the knee. So take a full breath. If you can, bend the elbows, come down to the mat or to a block, sinking deeper into that stretch. Excellent. Let's release, straighten out the arms, lift the chest, lower the right foot gently back down to the mat, and walk the foot back in so it's in line with your hip. Pick up the right hand and bring it to the outside of the right foot. Take a deep breath. Exhale, shift back through the hips, straighten out the leg, lift the toes, take a deep breath in, elongating the spine, and exhale, hinge forward over the right leg. Feel that stretch all the way down the back side. Good, let's release. Walk the hands forward, lower the right toes, and let's step all the way back to downward dog. On your next inhale, we'll step the left foot forward this time, hips down and forward. And adjust the back leg if you'd like more support. Otherwise, exhale, press deeply into the left foot for high lunge. Roll the shoulders back. Breathe. Hinge forward, hands down to the mat, take a full breath. And then if you haven't already, exhale the right knee and the top of the foot down to the mat. Picking up the left hand, bring it between the left foot and the right hand, heel toe the left foot several inches out to the left, and then rotate the toes towards the top left corner of the mat. Take a deep breath in, full breath out, bending the elbows, lowering the chest down, coming onto your forearms, bringing them down to the mat or to a block if you can. And let's straighten out our arms, lift the chest, and now we'll open up through the thigh. So take a deep breath, exhale, gently lower the outside of the left leg towards the mat. You see the sole of my left foot has come off the floor, so the weight of the leg is in that outside edge of the foot. Inhale, exhale, bending the elbows, again working our way down towards our forearms, but a bent elbow position is totally fine. We want to feel that stretch through the outside of the left hip, the inside of the thigh. Breathe. If it's too much, straighten out the arms. And release. Come to the palms, straighten out the elbows, lift the chest, and bring the sole of the left foot back to the mat. Tiptoe that foot back in line with the hip, bring the left hand to the outside, take a deep breath in. Exhale, shift the hips back, straightening out the left leg, lifting the toes. Inhale, lengthen your spine and hinge forward. And walk the hands forward, drop the hips. And let's step back to downward dog. Pedal your heels. And on your next inhale, lift the right heel high towards the sky. Bend the knee and exhale, draw the knee towards the chest for pigeon. Relax the leg down to the mat, pointing the right knee towards the top right corner of the mat. Relax the left leg back. Inhale, lift your chest, look upwards, and exhale, hinge forward. Again, the blocks are your friend, or you can just use your forearms here. If you can't get your forehead to the mat, that's totally fine. The ideal is that we're feeling this stretch through the outside of the right hip, through the inner thigh, through the left hip flexor. So let your body relax as much as possible. Good, let's straighten out our arms, lift the chest, walk our hands back to either side of the right leg. Take a full breath. As you exhale, step back to downward dog. And switch sides. Inhale, left leg up. Bend the knee, exhaling, draw the knee towards the chest, down to the mat. And relax, take a deep breath in, and exhale, fold forward. All right, so let's lift our chest up, step back to downward dog, pedal our heels, take a couple deep breaths. Good, let's come on down to the mat. So moving into our final relaxation,
You can lay flat on your back in Shavasana, or you can always do it in a seated position. Roll the shoulders back, tuck them under the back of the body if you're laying down. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Full breath out through your mouth. Let your whole body relax. Let it sink deeply into the mat. Bring your awareness down the length of your body, noticing if there are any muscles holding tension. Breathe deeply, focusing on that point. Let them relax. Again, let them melt down into the mat. And continue to bring your awareness all the way down into your feet. And mentally repeat after me. My toes, feet, and heels are releasing and relaxing. My toes, feet, and heels are released and relaxed. My ankles, calves, and knees are releasing and relaxing. My ankles, calves, and knees are released and relaxed. My thighs, hips, and buttocks are releasing and relaxing. My thighs, hips, and buttocks are released and relaxed. My abdomen and lower back are releasing and relaxing. My abdomen and lower back are released and relaxed. My fingers, hands, and wrists are releasing and relaxing. My fingers, hands, and wrists are released and relaxed. My forearms, elbows, and upper arms are releasing and relaxing. My forearms, elbows, and upper arms are released and relaxed. My chest, back, and shoulders are releasing and relaxing. My chest, back, and shoulders are released and relaxed. My neck, head, and face are releasing and relaxing. My neck, head, and face are released and relaxed. My mind is calm, my breathing is even, and I am completely relaxed. Om. Gently bring awareness back to your body. Take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, reawakening your mind and body. Gently inhale, reach the arms overhead, and reach over to the right. Back through center and over to the left.
back through center. If you're on your back, roll to your right side, placing the left hand in front of your chest on the mat. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, press up to a seated position. Bring your hands to your heart. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. Namaste. Great job tonight. Thank you again for joining me and taking a moment for movement. Tonight is our last live class of 2021. I hope you've been enjoying these. There's plenty of other yoga classes, strength training workouts, cardio workouts on the Moment for Movement YouTube page. Be sure to subscribe for updates on future live classes and videos. Have a happy and healthy 2022, and I will see you soon.